The moment a typical Kenyan gets some money to build, the first thing they do is they call their parent or their friend to ask for the number of a fundi. And from that point, it's mistakes all the way. So here are 10 mistakes most Kenyans make the moment they start building, and it costs them a big deal. Let's learn. So when you want to build, you need to make sure that you make the right steps from the beginning. If you fail to do that, building is very expensive and you'll pay very heavily. Number one, failing to get a design and failing to get approvals. When you're building, if you fail to get a design, what does that mean? You do not know what you're getting at the end. What is the risk of that? The fundi can build for you anything and you will have to take it. So you have to get a design, you have to get your approvals, you have to get a contract and a contractor. The second most important thing, or the second biggest mistake many people do when they're building, is they automatically become civil engineers and they now start making decisions on their building. One such decision is doing away with the strip foundation. This, in layman's eyes, will save you a lot of cost, but it's very dangerous. Why? A strip foundation helps your house transfer the weight of the house evenly into the ground. If you fail to do that, then you could experience something called an even settlement, where one part of the house settles, another one remains up, and then you have very crazy cracks on your house. The third mistake, as the second one, is you decide to become a civil engineer or builder and start making decisions. Another decision would be doing away with a damp-proof course and damp-proof membrane, or doing away with either of them. These two things are very, very important because they would inhibit water rising into your walls and causing your paint to bulge. Because if you fail to do that at the foundation stage, don't be lied to, that cannot be corrected. Another thing is, once you have your fundi on site, instead of an engineer or a contractor or an architect, then you risk having a house that is not level. So as you begin building, one of the most important things that we do is that we take the levels of the area. So we have to ensure that we know the horizontal levels of the area so that once we are building, we know exactly, for instance, at the entrance, we'll have 3 steps up or we'll have 2 steps up. You can only do that when you take levels. Also, to ensure that your ground slab is on one level, so that once you are doing your tiling or your flooring, whatever kind of flooring you decide to go with, you ensure that your flooring is all on one level. Number 5, ratios. When you're doing construction, one of the most important things is ratios. Concrete ratios, mortar ratios. Concrete for different areas of the construction has different ratios. There are areas that it's 1:4, that is 1 part cement, 2 part sand, and 4 part ballast. And there are areas where it's 1:6. Who has to tell you the kind of ratios you're using at each area? It's your structural engineer, and that's why you need them on site. Another thing is rebar, reinforcement bars, chuma. Reinforcement bars are one very important part of any construction, especially if you're using the normal conventional ways of construction. If you do not follow, or rather, if you do not have a structural design, or if you do not follow a structural design, you will get into real trouble because usually the specific type of rebar, the specific arrangement of rebar is usually determined on the structural design, and it has to be followed to the letter. Why? Because there's a design process that was followed to get to that. So if you sit down with your fundi and decide tuliweka T10 kwa nani, so tuna T10 tu iko sawa, then you'll be in real trouble, I promise you. Another thing is compromising excavation depth. And this is worse off if you're building in an area with weak soil, such as black cotton. You will experience real trouble if you use a fundi and you avoid getting a structural engineer. Lastly, and very, very importantly, avoid doing pipes within structural members. I don't know how many times I'll have to say this, but avoid doing pipes within structural members. I know you want to have a clean facade, but avoid passing your pipes within your columns. Avoid passing your pipes within your beams. It's deadly. Just ensure that you have your pipes either in or out. Let your columns be, let your beams be. Also, avoid passing ventilation within your beams. Let all your ventilations be on the windows and the doors. That is for the permanent ventilations. Don't drill holes within your beams to have ventilations. You are risking your life. Like, follow, share for more smart building tips.